What's going on, y'all? It's me, Courtside Kenny, and I am inside of my car. There's a man outside. We don't have porches in this neighborhood. He's just outside sitting in front of his car in his driveway. He can see me right now, but we're gonna push through the. We're gonna push through this in Jesus' name. We're gonna push through this, even if a white person is going to be in your business. I mean, honestly, this is his neighborhood. I don't live here. You know what I mean? This is not my childhood home. We moved around, so whatever he wants to do, honestly. So we're going to get out of his way quickly. What we want to talk about is the last two games that the Gamecocks have played. The women's basketball Gamecocks, South Carolina, whatever. Okay, so I talked to y'all when they were 4-0. And I told you guys I didn't quite like it. And I believe that last game was the USC game. And they were tied up until the second half of that game. They started to pull away. And I think since that second half, I have liked what I have seen. And they played Winthrop right after that. And then yesterday, they played Queens. And so you're going to say this is not great competition. It's not. It's not great competition. But really, what you want to do is you want to beat up on these teams so that you can have the confidence to do it against the Dukes and the UCLAs, hopefully, that we will see this coming week. So let's talk about quickly what we saw so we can get out this white man's face. Okay, namely, one of the things I liked and I wanted to point out is I said in the last video that we needed to give Adele more minutes. I think in one of the games she got 0 minutes, and I just think that you can't have that. I think Adele has too much energy and has the ability to really drive these girls when it's not really feeling like anything. You know, she's got that energy. She can pick you up. She can go. She can do it. She also is very vocal. She's got great leadership. So I would like to see more of her. So we have seen more of her over these last two games, and then last game against Queens, she got her first career double double, her highest scoring game in her college career, and so it's just great to see her begin to flourish. Aside from Adele, I said I wanted to see Tanaya be a little more aggressive as well as Medina. And I think that we are seeing that. I think that we're seeing that. Now, something that Dawn said in the post game was that she is playing more aggressively in transition because these girls are not getting half these girls are not getting half court, which was evident in the first 3.5 games. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of leak outs. We're seeing it's still is scary to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes they be chucking that fucking ball, and me and my wife be like, "Who are you passing it to?" And then somebody just swoops in at the last minute to pick it up and put it in the hoop, and that's great. It's been great basketball. It has been exciting, even though I mean we really haven't played anybody. It still has been good to see. And like I said, that development. You're just really looking for the cohesion. You just want to see that these girls get along and they have the right attitude because, like I said, we go into next week, Las Vegas, the Players Era or something like that, and we're gonna definitely be playing Duke, and then we're either gonna play UCLA or I don't remember the other team. Sorry, I really want to play UCLA. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Um, so anyway, Tanaya Latson, I'm liking what she's doing. She's looking a little more aggressive. I have more to say about her, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I like her a lot. And speaking of tonight, one person I also want to talk about is Mouse, because Mouse came back and helped us with our guard depth. And that's just she's just quick. She's just quick and smart, and she can pass. She can see. She's got the ability. I think. I think. Listen, this might come off a little coarse, but I want you to try to go with me here. I think that everything we lost in Malaysia, South Carolina lost to Malaysia, you can get back in the extended minutes with Mouse, and then you get back with Tanaya Latson. I think that there's not as much flash, obviously, and glamour and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of stuff, and the behind the backs and woo and all that kind. But I think that at the end of the day, you don't need it to win games. And while it is missed, we are still able to have a lot of the production. One thing that I think has been really cool has been that we have scored 100 points, and I think I want to say 3 of the 6 games. And I feel like last year we could not get. I could be wrong. Somebody check me in the comments, but I could have sworn last year it was very hard to get to 100 points. I remember a couple games where we were right there at the end, but Dawn don't push it. She don't play with the basketball guys. That's why I like Dawn. And so I think that has been cool. I think you scored 120 plus points last night. That is a lot of points. And I think again, you have to see if it's going to translate. I have liked the offense. Obviously, the transition is fun. And I have liked the defense. The defense is definitely way more handsier, way more active, way more alert. I love that. I think that's what you have to do. I think that's what you have to be, especially this team. Again, is it going to translate? We're going to see that this week. And that is why we like Dawn. Yes, Queens College is not worth writing home about, but it's that they got to practice it, game speed, against the team. You want them to be competitive. I mean, it's not like sometimes the teams roll over, but I mean, in the beginning they didn't, you know. And so you just want to play that so that you can see if you can do that, get that confidence under you, and then you play really good teams. And that's what I like, and that's what Don likes, and that's really what it seems to work. Like I said, Medina looked good. Tanai looked good. Adele looked good. Tessa looked good. Tessa looked better. She has kind of I tend to think there's a difference when it comes to you coming off the bench, right? And then you're starting games, and then people are scouting for you. So I think that she just needs to get a little accustomed to that. People are scouting for you. You're not just coming off the bench to help us out anymore. You are like a top 3 scout probably, and so I think that if she can push past that, she's going to be really good. But at the end of the day, she's probably going to come off the bench as a pro. So I love um I have loved Tessa's little bounce back, I guess. I wouldn't say she's been bad. It's just has looked different. And so, getting back to this transition game, and I think just not really overthinking the game of basketball has been really good for Tessa. Yeah, everything is smarter. It makes sense, and it's just like I think about Dawn. Let me back up here. I think about Asia Wilson, okay? Talked about how Dawn Staley texted her through the Aces season and said, "Man, y'all suck." And I think I think that's important because I think that what you are seeing with the Gamecocks is kind of in lockstep with what you saw with the Aces. But I think what Dawn is doing is she's just not waiting it out. Becky is going to wait it out, and she did for like 10 games, 15 games, because Jewel Lloyd was asking to come off the bench for a minute. Like we were asking for that difference in composition for a minute. That was always available. She just didn't want to do it. And I just don't think Dawn is going to play. Dawn is not going to play with that. So in the first 4 games, she said she wanted to do the half court. It just didn't work out, and it looked sloppy because we don't know where we're going to be. And I mentioned that sometimes it just looks sloppy, and you have those turnovers because you're thinking somebody's going to be here and they're not there. You know what I mean? And so you just have a turnover because I'm playing pick and roll, you love to fade or whatever, and or flare, and I'm expecting you to do something else, and so you just have to learn each other's tendencies. And while they do that in practice, they're going to win games by just running faster than you, being bigger than you. And I think that's 100% the way to do it. I think that's 100% the way to do it. And yes, I think Becky Hammond could have done that. But hey, whatever works, works. However you do it, do it. And so that's what Dawn is doing. And so, like I said, this week they are for Thanksgiving. They're going to Vegas for the players, players for the Players Era Championship. For the for the Players Era Championship in Las Vegas, Duke, they're going to play them first. I didn't even write down what the second team was either. Like, God, I really want to play UCLA because I want to avenge about a year ago to this day when UCLA whooped our ass the beginning of the season. And I think that was really telling because I think it was different for the Gamecocks last season. I think last season they had come off a national championship win. And so I think everybody was like, okay, they have the best chance to repeat. UConn wasn't looking good yet. Like it wasn't looking. So to come out and get smacked by UCLA really hurt it. It really hurt it. It really hurt it. So I would like to avenge that because I would say that UCLA is on the other end of that this time. Like, they are favorites. I think that, of course, everybody wants UConn to go, but UCLA, Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice. I think that they are a favorite team, and I understandably so, right? So I really want to get them back. I really want to get them back. I hope that they do, because I think that that type of early on, right, giving your team a chance to early on make a statement, I think it's really important. I think it keeps you locked in. I like it. As you can see, I'm not really into the people who don't schedule. And also, it's just as a fan, it's just like not fun. But I really want to get back at UCLA and Lauren Betts. Speaking of Lauren Betts, I do want to also talk. I also want to talk about the WNBA draft that took place yesterday. Not the actual draft, the draft lottery that took place yesterday, so that we know who is getting the top 5 picks. If you want to hear more about what I think about the WNBA draft, make sure to watch this video. That being said, I'm courtside Kenny. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm out.